Welcome to the motherfucking Lords of Larf Town. I am Deuce, this is PBR, and this is G Stanky down here at the bottom. Constantly in and out of focus, but he's there regardless. Today we're going to talk about Nintendo Switch, really. We're not going to get too much into the whole pricing and stuff like that, but I do want to talk about the technology involved with it. I don't know if you guys saw the mouse feature. Have you seen that? Grant, have you seen it?
Yep. No.
Okay, so
I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, so
you rolled the Joy-Con on the table?
Yeah, you put the Joy-Con sideways on the table, and it functions as a mouse. And I've only seen a few games played with it. I think they were playing what's the game where you play the girl? It's like their Metroid.
Yeah.
They were playing Metroid with it, and it looked pretty cool. I can't say that's innovative because Lenovo already does that with their handheld device. It turns into a mouse, but it's pretty cool and it's interesting. It's one of the more interesting things that I saw. The only problem is I have a Switch. Grant, you have a Switch?
No, I wanted to get one.
Oh, you never got one. Okay, so I feel like
I want to get one. I want to get a new one.
I feel like on the Switch, there's always this like weird input latency when I'm playing shooter games. So I'm hoping that with the Switch 2, they kind of figured that out, and there's no... Because if there's latency and you're playing on a mouse at all, I mean, it's unplayable, in my opinion, especially at competitive level. But anyway, so that's one of the features that I actually think is pretty fucking cool, is the mouse thing.
They did a Nintendo Switch show and review for people that they randomly selected people to come, and then they also invited content creators, and one of the games is some wheelchair game, so everyone had their Joy-Cons and they were doing this.
Rubbing it on the tables.
They've tested it in beds, they've tested on their legs. They said it works pretty good. It works like a standard, like a Cyber Power, if you get this from Best Buy style mouse. They said it'll work like that on your leg. So it's not bad, even if you don't have a flat surface. They were kind of concerned about that.
Did you watch
sounds
much
like it works pretty well.
Did you watch much of that game?
Probably only a minute or two. I didn't watch too much.
Okay, so it works with both Joy-Cons, right? Left hand, right hand, and you're basically a crippy in a wheelchair, and you use it left hand, right hand. So like if you want to turn right, you just push the left hand forward, and it turns you left or whatever, So it's basically what's Rocket League in wheelchairs.
Yes.
It's kind of an offensive game, to be honest.
I've heard it's a fun concept, and it gives developers ideas, but it also at the same time the atmosphere of that game I heard was pretty dead and dry.
The wheelchair
I can tell
one?
you right now.
What? You could tell me right now.
Nintendo has peripherals up the butt that just die after the launch. So like they have something that'll implement in any game, like the mouse stuff, like rolling a wheel, but no one will ever use it.
The only thing with the mouse is if it's like, let's just say you're playing Fortnite on it, that would be a pretty legit feature to be able to have mouse accuracy on that console, because you only you Joy-Con this hand and then you use the other one as a mouse, and plus it's sideways,
but there's
so
a bunch of buttons
well, you have access to all the buttons with your thumb, and then you have access to the top and trigger, so you kind of have, it's not exactly what a mouse would be, but you have all the capability at your fingers.
It depends on how good it is.
Yeah,
the quality.
It's kind of like Xbox and their stupid Kinect gimmick shit.
Oh god, that was terrible.
Do we give a quick spit out all the features real quick that are different?
Yeah, go.
Or do we want to just jump in?
Go for it.
Okay. Cost is $450. There's a new optical feature we'll talk about that's similar to the iToy in the past and the Kinect. There's also going to be a larger screen. There's going to be a variable refresh rate. So instead of having a standard 60 FPS, you can have a 30 up to a 120. So that'll give people like Cyberpunk ability to get a better game out. Like they can put their game on there in 30 and it'll run better.
It was 30,
but then you can have people that put it on in 120.
Well, it was,
for lesser intensive games.
Yeah, less intense games. Because from what I saw for Cyberpunk, it was 30 or 45.
Up to 40.
Yeah,
correct.
40.
Can I say something about the price real quick?
Yeah.
Yes.
The the price. Everybody's kind of flipping out about the price. The games are expensive for sure, but $450. This is the equivalent of a Steam Deck, right?
Yeah.
In terms of
And
power.
that's like $700.
It's $50 more, and it has larger capability with like I believe graphic. It's bigger than the Steam Deck,
The
and
screen's
it
bigger.
has more storage, doesn't it? 250.
I'm
or
sure it's
whatever.
expands that you can expand it too.
It can hold
It
about
has-
6 games.
It said 256 on the internal hard drive, right?
Which is
And
not-
plus there's
It's not
That's not
very
a lot.
big. If you've been PlayStation 4, you know that you have what was it, a terabyte, and you can max that thing out with Call of Duty.
it was terrible, yeah.
Well, a Switch has 32.
Yeah,
now.
Switch
Yeah.
has got pretty much nothing. But the first thing you do
But if
when
the
you buy a
games are
Switch is a memory card. So
If you want to play a game, if a game is capable to run at 4K, you're now already looking at 4 times the size
Yeah.
of a
all the rendering,
Switch game.
yeah, all the file sizes of everything.
so like a big Switch game was what 10 gigabytes was a big one.
No,
So now the big ones are going to be like
Doom was
40
like
to 70.
Doom was like, oh man, I can't remember now. Doom was pretty hefty, so I'm imagining
Okay.
Doom Eternal was hefty too. But I don't remember the size memory stick that I added. But you know, the cool thing about the Switch was you could download games, but then you could get physical copies. Like I had Zelda,
Yeah.
so I never installed Zelda on the console. It was always like its own little cartridge.
And then and now the digital copies are $80.
Insane.
And the physical copy of like a same game, like a Mario Kart, would be $90. Some digital or some physical copies will have a red tag on them that are basically keys,
yeah, like I
saying
hate
like
that.
there's nothing on this disc. It's just a digital
This is
key.
the
It's like a
access.
DRM.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the pricing of games, especially being that most games that I play on Switch, I'd rather play like its counterpart on a computer or like a real console and get better
Dude, fucking-
experience.
Nintendo does that all the time. I went to go buy a Nintendo Wii game, Mario Kart Wii. It was like a couple years ago, and it's like $60.
That's crazy.
And it was just a used copy. And it was like they never bring down their games ever. The value of a Nintendo game is always high, way too high. I don't.
I feel like they're gonna cripple their own sales for games because especially like because a game can be sold from any country to any country technically if it's like sold from servers here in America or whatever. Like there's not any. I don't see the value of paying $80 for a game. I can't even think of a game besides Tarkov that I would pay over $80. I mean, I think I paid one something for Tarkov, but I have over 4,000 hours in that game. You know, I'm not gonna play most Nintendo games for 4,000 hours. You know, even Zelda, I probably only have like 100 hours in it, maybe. Breath of the Wild. So I can't really see spending that much money on a game. I guess the handheld experience makes it a little bit more attractive because you can like buy that game and then take it with you wherever you go. But $80 is kind of steep.
I think the 450 entry price is fine to me,
that's
but
fine.
the $80 is too steep. Like
Yeah.
they've been building this, so the argument was the Wii U sucked, so they pushed out that Switch a little early. Now they've had 8 years to build a badass Switch 2, which it actually the specs look pretty good on most like the features,
Wait,
but the
They
games
haven't
are too
released.
pricey. And they don't have enough cool games yet. There's not enough cool games that are going to justify buying the
dude,
console.
I always said if I want to get into a new Nintendo product hardware, their new console is going to have to launch with Metroid, and it's going to have some sort of core gamer support, which they do with a FromSoft game, and they having a Metroid game, at least in the launch window. And so I'm in, and it's powerful enough to run third-party support, right? So 2077 Cyberpunk is running. I'm all game now. I'm about to get one as soon as it goes.
The console price is reasonable in my opinion, but the games though, I have trouble wrapping my head around that.
I don't think I like Nintendo games anyway. So
Are they only
I don't think
first party games that are going
Cyberpunk's
to be
gonna
selling
sell them
that
for-
much?
yeah, that's what I figured.
Do they know if the third party games are going to come with that much of a price?
Well, if Cyberpunk wants to sell their game at $90 physical, $80 digital, then they're absolutely insane.
Well,
it's got to be up to them,
I guess. And the other thing is like I have Mario Kart, and that was a I don't know $45 game or whatever on Switch, maybe 60. I don't remember at this point, but there's like 12 worlds or something like that, and then there's like 4 maps within each world, and then there's like 5 DLCs that you can get. So it's like, so now you're gonna pay $80 for the core game, get a fixed number of maps, and then you're gonna have to pay another bundle for all the DLCs that they release for that game eventually. That's the part that sounds like you might as well make all your games free to play and then just sell skins and actually make money. I don't know.
That sucks.
There's a Switch reviewer on YouTube that went to that convention.
I might have watched.
And he came back and beat 'em ups.
Yeah, beat 'em up. Yeah.
He said the Cyberpunk hair would look like shit. He said he was kind of like he thought it looked okay, but he wasn't super sold on it. But I guess it's good that they're bringing it to the console though. I think it's cool that you can play Switch 1 games on the Switch 2 day of.
That's cool.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Because that incentivizes me to buy the Switch 2 too.
Yeah.
Because I never had a Switch 1.
Yeah.
So like me and Stanky, now we can buy that and just we can when there's sales on the Switch 1 games, play some of those.
Yeah.
But there is a increase. There is a upgrade for a couple of the Switch 1 games where you have to pay up to $20 to upgrade. So if you want to play Breath of the Wild on a
even if you have the physical copy of the game, or is this what?
With a Switch, yes, it'll default to the Switch 1 graphical settings.
Oh, I don't care about that.
But you can, yeah, I know, but you can upgrade to the Switch 2 graphical settings, kind of like how PlayStation does.
Did they have a meeting with Sony? Fucking clowns.
PlayStation charges $10. Switch is going to charge more, and I don't know how much of a graphical upgrade it's going to be.
Maybe if it's docked, you'll notice it. But on the screen, I kind of don't know if you'll notice it unless they downgrade shit on purpose. And it's like Grand Theft Auto remastering their game 3 times and then charging everybody the same price that like it was brand new. Like, if I have it on PC, what do I need the remastered version for?
No, I know, but I really wanted that game to run at 60 frames, and I remember when it came to PS4 and Xbox One, it ran at 30 still. And didn't start running at 60 until PS5.
It gives me a fucking headache playing at that frame rate on that game.
Yeah, I can't do that. A handheld, I could do it, but no.
I think before we get into all the juicy features, we talk about the one lackluster feature, which he featured in that video as well as that camera eye toy that they're going to have on the new Switch. God. Just seems like such a waste because the eye toy, the Kinect, none of them have really been successful. So I don't know why they're putting it on there, but the functionality already looks like it's going to have problems when you're trying to like hit blocks and move around and do things.
Yeah.
So G, I don't know if you've seen this, Stanky, but you put the Switch 2 down, and there's a camera that goes next to it, and there's interactions that are involved similar to the Kinect.
Okay.
It just seems kind of like a waste of time. Like it's something you do, you have fun once, but it's cheesy and it doesn't work very well, so then you get sick of it right away.
Yeah, there's a lot of cringy stuff when it comes to Nintendo hardware. I don't know. I was gonna say I don't really like Nintendo games in general. I mean, Breath of the Wild looks cool, but I guarantee it's not gonna hold my attention for longer than a day.
No, it will.
What's your guys' favorite OG Nintendo game?
Okay, I got you.
Favorite original Nintendo?
Oh, I got you. My favorite Nintendo game?
Yeah. Don't you have one of those though, right?
Yeah. I mean, I have a couple, but I love Tecmo Super Bowl. I think the Tecmo Super Bowl you can play today, and it's just as fun as it was 30 years ago.
I'm trying to think. It's a motorcycle game. I forget what it's called right now.
Excitebike?
Yeah, Excitebike was probably like one of my favorite memories of playing Nintendo games.
I also like Mario Brothers 3 and probably pick like Legend of Zelda.
I didn't play Legend of Zelda. It always bored me. Like just the whole
and Ninja Gaiden. Ninja Gaiden is perfect.
Ghosts and Ghouls, that's Sega.
Yeah.
That was Sega.
Ghouls and Ghosts? No.
Ghouls and Ghosts was on Nintendo. I played it on Sega though. I didn't play it on Nintendo.
It's a Capcom game.
Yeah.
So
I got a whole stack of those bad boys sitting in the other room waiting to get the dust blown out of them. Right.
What's your favorite?
Mario 3. Tecmo Bowl was awesome. Blades of Steel. Hockey. That was a good one.
Take the pass. Take the pass.
Super Sprint. I like Super Sprint.
Yeah, it's awesome.
What else? I fucking love all the Nintendo games. I got
Zootropics. I mean, there's
Punch
so many
Out.
good ones. Contra, Punch.
Paperboy was really
Yeah.
hard, but I like Paperboy.
Paperboy was
Yeah,
a solid title. All you do is throw
My
paper in
Underrated
a
one was
box.
like a treasure. It was like a treasure hunter game where you had to. It was really hard. It was something treasure, but that was a good one.
DuckTales was a really good one. Anything that Konami made was awesome.
All
like
the games
Contra.
from that era were pretty fun. Even like, I mean, I'm mostly Sega, unfortunately, but like Earthworm Jim and like all the games from that early era of gaming were fucking solid, fun.
What did they
Earthworm Jim's
cost?
awesome. What?
$50?
Nintendo games.
Was it 45 or 50?
I got a shitload of those things. I wonder what they cost.
Dude, I'm telling you, they cost like about as much as $80 today in 2025.
Some. I just sold about.
Some are more.
I didn't sell any Nintendo games. It was all Genesis games. But I sold 62 games, and I think I only took like 140 for it.
Yeah, but if you were to buy Legend of Zelda,
The gold cartridge.
No. Like, so Super Nintendo, Legend of Zelda, whatever that one was called, I can't remember what it was called. Link's Awakening. If you were to buy Link's Awakening when it came out in 1993 or 92 and adjust it to 2025 inflation, it'll equal about $80 or maybe even more.
Yeah, it says 30 to 40. I just checked. So 30 to 40 bucks, but I feel people had more discretion or disposable income and discretionary income. That's the difference, right? Maybe they had more loose income sitting around.
People bought less games. So
Yeah, it wasn't like 50 games coming out every year. There was like 5 good ones.
Yeah, we must have been rich.
My grandpa always bought me games. He would be like, take me to Toys R Us. I remember that, and be like, pick one out. And I'd be like, oh yeah, Road Rash, baby. But yeah, I don't really play Nintendo games as an adult. I would say that ended in my childhood, and I only got the Switch because I thought it was such a cool, like, way to kind of take the Vita to the next level, or the PSP. It was like an upgraded version of those, in my opinion.
So it says on the SNES, they were $49 to $59.
Yeah,
when they came out, and then
that's nuts.
Which was a big increase from the regular Nintendo.
Yeah, that's
spendy.
Yeah, that's why
that's how much. That's
like
more
2
expensive
games a
than I
year.
would pay today.
Yeah, I mean, think about how many games we buy now, because we buy stuff on early release. We buy stuff, like every time there's a Steam sale. But then there wasn't a catalog like that. There was. It was very limited. And when you bought a game, you bought the final version of it. You didn't buy a fucking version that needed to be upgraded day one, and then they sell you DLC. So you were getting more, essentially, because you're also getting a harder experience. Most of those games were like arcade-centric when it came to like how brutal they were.
Yeah, they're like designed to steal your quarters.
Yeah.
Well, should we talk about... Go ahead, actually. Do you have...
No,
Should we talk about some of the positive features of this Switch 2?
Yeah, go for it. I'm kind of hyped for it if they pull it off.
I'm hyped.
Oh, I think it looks fucking awesome. I think the only thing that bums me out is the price of the games.
Yeah.
And that's the only thing. Otherwise, I think it looks cool.
Yeah.
I think it looks awesome. Especially if I want to play it with, like, if kids come over, or, need a kid-friendly console that's easy for people to play that aren't used to video games.
Yeah, when you get them in your van.
Yes. Yes, eat my candy. I've got Haribo sour gummies, sour pizzas over here. I got everything for him.
Fucking Epstein.
That's crazy.
Over here.
Yeah. Anyway, a less smudgy screen, so the screen doesn't get affected by light as much, and it doesn't smudge as much. So that's a new feature.
It's LCD though, not OLED, right?
It supposedly looks better than the OLED screen that's on the Switch 1. But I have a glass screen cover on mine, and it's super nice. I've never had a scratch on it. I've never had an issue with fingerprints. Like, it's solid, and the touch works well.
If I was to buy, if I were to ask you, Deuce, because you already have one, if I'm not going to buy Nintendo first-party games right away, I guess I'm not really interested in buying Metroid right away, even though I love Metroid. I just think that game doesn't look that great. It looks like a PlayStation 2 designed game, or shooter, I should say. But should I buy the new Switch, or should I buy the Switch 1 OLED
I never played on the OLED.
and just play Switch 1 games?
I don't know. I think it's just whatever titles you want to play. Because like, I think one of my favorite experiences on the Switch was the remake of Doom, 2016. I had a lot of
2016?
fun. Yeah, 2016. I had a lot of fun playing Doom 2016 on there, just because it was like, it actually holds up. It has decent graphical fidelity, and in the beginning, you could play multiplayer without having to pay for Nintendo's stupid fucking Nintendo Pass thing. So I was playing Doom multiplayer on it all the time, and it was really fun. And then they added the Nintendo service, and I stopped playing all multiplayer games on there because it was just really kind of disappointing. Microsoft really fucked everybody over in that regard.
When you were saying you were playing Doom multiplayer, 2016 only had multiplayer. Oh, sorry. Never mind.
2016 had it.
Yeah, I'm thinking of the the Xbox original.
Yeah, you're thinking of the
flashlight Doom.
Yeah. I have that
Doom
one
3.
on it too. I have it on there too. And it's
Doom
it's
3
fun.
runs on it.
It's fun.
I love Doom 3, dude. Underrated game. I mean, it came out.
I love
right,
that game.
It came out right when Half-Life came out. Half-Life 2.
Ooh, speaking of
And
Half-Life,
I remember
Half-Life 2
bought my
RTX is coming out.
Yeah, I'm excited. I need a new
You need
computer.
a new computer, yeah.
When Half-Life 2 came out, I bought the video card that it was a NVIDIA GeForce something. I can't remember. X850, I think. And it was like just showcasing Doom 3 and Half-Life 2. And so it went under the radar because Half-Life 2 was so much better. But I still loved Doom 3.
I remember when
Shout
it was
out to
amazing.
all the dead game stores out there. I remember buying that from a game store that died, and a guy recommended me that. He recommended me like what are the Fight Night game? That was awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh man, I don't know. They're just, it sucks that some of those older non-GameStops went out of business.
It's a very competitive industry, especially with how big it is now.
Did you guys ever have Play and Trade?
We had Funko Land that turned into GameStop eventually. I think GameStop
and
bought
EB
Funko
Games.
Land. Oh, EB, that's
which
right.
was Canadian.
They were in all of the malls. They were Canadian, huh? Fuckers.
Electronics Boutique.
Yeah, that's
Canadian.
right.
Yes.
God damn.
What a bunch of pussies.
I actually preferred EB Games to GameStop, believe it or not.
Me too.
I like
the guys that worked in our EB Games way more than the GameStop.
Yeah,
guys.
EB Games had a better like store ethic.
EB Games,
GameStop was just ghetto.
Yeah, well, once they bought Funko Land, I stopped kind of going there. I hate GameStop. GameStop sucks. Funko Land was psyched because you could go in there and you could like, they'll be like, we'll give you $10, and be like, nah, I think you're gonna give me $12, and they'll be like, okay, we can give you $12 for that.
GameStop in San Francisco, where like we had a giant Halo 3 midnight party. It was amazing. But that place moved to Market Street when San Francisco went to shit, and that place was basically a prison yard outside of that GameStop. It's probably still around. Maybe if it's stupid, it's still around. But I remember buying a Vita, PlayStation Vita, and I bought a used copy, and it was locked. I was like, dude, you didn't have it was stolen.
Somebody
basically.
pawned it there.
Oh.
And I was like, this is locked, dude. And I was like, you guys buy locked Vitas? He's like, oh, my bad. And so he gave me another one, and the other one was unlocked, but had this guy's credit card information, and I just played all his games for like a year until he realized that he needs to stop. Someone was playing like his account on his PlayStation account. I never stole his money or anything or bought anything. I just was like, well, I just logged into him when I wanted to play like 40 games. Yeah.
If that happened to you, think about how many people that got away with that. Probably thousands, hundreds of thousands.
Yeah, there was just no etiquette whatsoever.
Lazy employees that never cleared out games properly.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Like
they were like worse employees. That was the MAM. That's where.
Oh, that's where that happened. That's probably open.
That's where it
happened.
happened.
That's a national landmark now. We cherish that place.
Yeah. No ma'am, or it's ma'am. Sorry.
It's ma'am.
The no ma'am was Married with Children.
A decade ago, there used to be those videos on the internet where people would jump into GameStop dumpsters and like try to find
Oh, all the
products that
discarded
were
stuff. Man, they would throw away
super valuable.
They did. If it couldn't be disc doctored, they just throw it in the trash.
Yep.
Dude, I definitely did that. I looked in trash and stuff.
You look like you did.
Especially after yeah, I do look like it did. After midnight releases, because there was so many promotional stuff that to be handed out, and then like let's say Budweiser, I think Mountain Dew was there, so Coca-Cola. Mountain Dew was there. They did the Code Red. They launched Code Red with the midnight release of Halo 3, and they were just handing out so much swag. I came back the next day, and in the garbage was overflowing with a bunch of Halo 3 merch.
Oh, you should have kept
Code Red merch.
Should have kept it.
I still have. I have one Halo 3 Code Red shirt still.
I bet that camera you're on has been in the garbage at one point or another. That kind of. Honestly, that thing is holding up pretty damn good. This is the biggest moment that camera's probably ever going to have on a show, and our show's not even big.
I'm going to fucking beat it with the baseball bat.
Look how still he's sitting. He's
You're
like
gonna go off
moving.
his face the shit out of that thing.
Yeah, I hate it so much.
He's like,
and the
shoulders are
fucking
locked.
microphone.
Yeah, man.
This stupid microphone.
Yeah, unfortunate.
Oh, that sounded. Yeah, picked up close once you got it close.
But should I get closer? Why didn't you tell me that?
No, you're balanced with him.
It sounds good. It sounds good to me.
I got you two balanced together.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds great.
Fuck off.
I think it sounds good.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to buy a Nintendo Switch 2 and then fucking pawn it off to some little kid for $1,000.
Yeah.
How about that?
Let's talk about some of the other good features. So we've got nice, larger Joy-Cons now. So if guys like us can actually enjoy a Joy-Con because it's a little bigger.
Sorry, not you.
So the Joy-Cons before were probably like a lower class controller, and now they have some better trigger capability. I think they're going to be a better.
The way they connect to the console makes a lot more sense too. It's magnetic. Before it was like a track, yeah, and the track
and also,
was cool, but it was annoying.
What about the Pro controller or whatever they're calling?
I have the Pro controller. I think so.
It kind of looks like. Does that kind of look like a? It looks like a knockoff. Like it looks like the wireless
Xbox
PS2
style.
Controller I just picked up.
It's Xbox style. I have one for the Switch 1, and the guy the video you watched, he's like, "Oh, it's like the best controller. That controller's dog water." The Xbox controllers of late were way more comfortable than it, and they also felt nicer. Like that Switch one does not feel like super premium, even though it's like $70 or something like that.
I hate the stupid ass modern Xbox and PlayStation controllers.
I haven't played either of the modern ones.
They're heavy, and the joysticks last about 4 months before they start to drift.
That's crazy to me.
Anyone out there, get yourself one of those insurance plans where you can take your controller in every time you get a dead zone. Like Best Buy has the $15 insurance. You fuck up your controller with the dead zone or whatever, you go in and get a new one.
Yeah, and not all games have dead zone adjustments too. Fortnite does, but the other game I was playing did not have one. And I was like, oh shit, I'm screwed. This controller's broken.
Well, that happened.
You said you want to play Apex Legends. That is the worst game for dead zones on the market. You get a dead zone in Apex, it's horrible, and you try to loot stuff, and your gun's constantly trying to do that. Forget it.
I had stick drift real bad on my original Switch nunchuck, I think they call it. It was really bad, and it was like a known thing because I had one of the like first generation releases of it, and I had to buy a new one because I couldn't get it to go away. I even took the thing apart and alcohol washed it and everything. Still had that fucking issue.
Do you use a Pro controller, right?
Depends on the game, but 99% of the time, yes. I won't play anything that's like that you need to be even somewhat accurate on with the actual like Switch controllers because
you don't play in handheld
sticks are
mode.
Fucking tiny. I will play like Zelda and games like that in it, but if I'm gonna play like Doom or whatever, it's so hard because like the stick is so small that the degree of movement is like very finite. It's like a very small amount. So it's not fun unless you're playing like a kid game like Mario Kart or something where accuracy and like range of motion isn't too important.
How would handheld be in bed if you're playing with one other person on the Joy-Con and you just set it in bed?
It's hard to do. It's hard to get it to sit anywhere because it's got a little kickstand on it, but that little kickstand's flimsy as fuck, and it's really made for being on like a tabletop. So the way I used to play with it in bed is I would lay down and I'd have my knees up and I'd pinch the console between my knees. So not ideal, but it was the best way to get like a good experience out of it. Otherwise, I mean, our TV's right at our bed, so I have the dock on the TV now. So if we're doing Mario Kart, we all just lay in bed and play.
Explain why you'd pinch the console in between your knees instead of playing it with your hands.
Because I was using a Pro Controller.
So you prefer,
like, so I would take the Joy-Cons off. Yeah, I would take the Joy-Cons off.
Gotcha.
And it would elevate it up, so I wouldn't be like trying to like look down at it. It would put it at like a comfortable viewing angle.
It's also he also used it to watch a lot of porn
Hentai.
adult video games too.
Yeah, hentai.
Yeah. Well, you can't. There's no Steam Deck availability porn games on this like you could on
Steam.
On Steam Deck, probably. Huh?
Have you?
You know what's really
what?
What's funny, real quick? Nintendo actually was the last console to really not crack down on like adult rated content on their console.
Rated
well, because when PlayStation 4 and Switch 1 came out and Xbox One, there were a lot of indie games that had, you know, a lot of anime titties in it. And eventually Sony was the first person to crack down, like Dead or Alive, Extreme Volleyball 2.
Everybody loved the physics.
Nintendo banned that game. Oh, I'm sorry, Sony banned that game, and they may have to Team Ninja had to make a censored version. The only version that wasn't censored was the Nintendo Switch version, but since then, Nintendo has cracked down on it.
What's the CEO that left a while ago? The American CEO. What was his name?
Reggie Phil.
Yeah,
Reggie.
Reggie. I have a feeling that his family-friendly approach to the Nintendo is what kind of put a hampering on that.
Yeah,
Fizame.
Fizame. I think the Western developers and publishers were the ones who cracked down on that.
Yeah, because they knew them titties were outselling their fucking stupid turn-based games.
So they're stupid turn-based games.
Grant and I have deep dove into the sex games on Steam. Have you ever looked into those before, PBR?
Of course.
Yeah. I've never bought one or played one, but they're fucking graphic.
I've seen the demos.
You've played the demos?
I've definitely bought and played one.
Did you? Was it as good as it says, or was it like click?
No,
because like
stupid.
Some of those videos they have like as the previews for the games, like people straight up raw dogging and like getting DP'd and shit. And you're like, wow, that's a crazy game.
Well, the popular one was I think me and Melody got got one and played one, and it was a college situation where a dude like goes to college. I forgot what it's called. It was actually pretty popular for an adult game.
Oh, that one's like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. That one was really popular for a while. I forget what it's called though.
It's the one that who got you that game? Someone got you that game.
Chess.
Chess.
Yeah, Chess got banned on Twitch for he was playing that game on stream and like left it up during like some gay scene or something. There was like dudes all over the.
Yeah, there was no gay stuff.
You're talking about a different game. The game Grant's talking about, it's more anime style, right?
No, not at all.
Oh,
it's like, hold on, I'm gonna find it.
Okay, there's been a few of those games where, it's like female books.
Being a dick, is that?
Yes, that's what it is.
Oh, that's the one I have.
Being a dick.
Okay, I never played it. I never even installed it because I saw him play it and I was like, I'm good.
To be fair, it was
a big game.
It's a big game.
It was written really well.
Was it?
Yeah, it's like a $40 game, I think, isn't it? Or it's like a big game on Steam.
There's like episodic, kind of like the old Telltale games.
Maybe Jessica.
What did she think of it?
Melody?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was kind of cool. Like you can make decisions.
Like, did you think it was funny or get a kick out of it, or?
Yeah, it was. It actually is hilarious, and it's well written. And then there's sex scenes in it, but they kind of stick out like a sore thumb because the quality is pretty good. It's a visual novel, right? So it's slightly animated, and then it becomes more animated during the sex scenes.
Of course, they got to step up the animation in the good part.
Right.
But like the decisions you make up and to the point are pretty good, and it's actually a pretty well written story, like mature story, a very mature story. It's immature at first, and you're like, just get to the titties, blah 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 blah. But then it's actually you kind of don't want your character to die or get an STD, so you start to make good decisions, and then all of a sudden you're like, okay, I want to win. I want to get with this guy's sister, or I want to get with the teacher, or your girlfriend, your hometown girlfriend, or you can get with the sorority girl who's kind of a whore. You can get with another really big slut who's like she's like the pimp. She whores out all the other girls. And then you can get with like a teacher and
I think it's called a
guidance
madam.
counselor.
It's the madam.
The game's about trying to make decisions and sleep with everybody. Now.
Yeah, but so
that's how all those AVNs are kind of geared.
Yeah, it's actually.
I think they do it the best probably, because supposedly the guy who makes that is the one who makes the most extensive updates.
Basically,
right?
what I'm understanding is if Nintendo wants to succeed, they need to be a dick on their console. Is that what the moral of the story is?
You can have the
imagine.
Grant's over here trying to focus. Yeah, I don't know. Some of the ones they show on there, it's like way more aggressive than being a dick. Like,
yeah, I've seen
to a whole nother
ones.
level. Yeah, where it's like, wow, okay.
Well, what did you want to talk? Why did you want to talk about that?
I didn't really want to talk about it. I just wanted to know why there's so many of them and how they keep making them and how they keep making it onto the Steam, not front page, but like into the lists on the front page. That I don't understand where the market is for that. I guess that's why OnlyFans is so
You can
popular.
take that out of your category.
Yeah, but then I don't get to laugh at the games every once in a while.
I don't know. People must be buying them.
I guess so. But I read the reviews because the reviews are always really funny, and they're usually trashing the game. I mean, how many of those games you have to buy before you realize they're all kind of trash?
You know, there's always the negative reviews on the, like, new games now that are like, nice try, Diddy. Or that kind of stuff. I'm sure I just imagine that's what I'd see if I went on those. And the game sucked.
Well, Being a Dick had a great song in the intro, and it was on the menu too, called Punk Rock Flu by the Friday Night Prophets. And it was actually the thing that stuck with me more.
The most?
In that game was that band. They're actually pretty good, a pretty good poppy punk band. I still listen to it today because thank you, Being a Dick.
The guy has good taste. The neckbeard who created that game has good taste.
Yeah.
Yep.
The models he uses or whoever designed that game, the actors, I guess, and the actresses, you see them a lot on the Steam page of like other games. Like they're the same characters because obviously it's the same adult actresses.
Yeah, so there's a website you have to go to get what are those called? Models. Yeah. You go to a website to get the models. I can't remember what it's called, but you have to pay for bundles of the models. And those guys must pay for the bundle so they can get as many as they can. And then I think he shells out and buys the higher quality ones. That's why his game, you have to render them once you make the game.
I think
It's
AI
very expensive.
I think AI is going to change that though. Make it a little easier to render beautiful.
What's that called?
Busty whamming.
I don't remember what the site's called, but
I don't know, but
anyway.
Team Ninja needs to make another beach volleyball game. I love that volleyball game. That is the greatest volleyball game ever made.
I never played it, but I did play DOA a lot.
Yeah, DOA is awesome. Oh, I love DOA. It's like one of my favorite fighting games,
That
regardless of titty physics.
Yeah.
Did we ever talk about the DOA movie?
Was there a movie?
Yeah,
I liked it. I thought it was decent. That was decent.
Are there pretty girls in it?
Yeah.
Is Ryu Hayabusa in it?
Jamie Presley, the one who's from My Name Is Earl, the one that looks kind of like, Margot Robbie. She was in it. She was awesome.
Um,
Kevin Nash was in it.
The
Really?
wrestler?
Yeah, WWF.
Was Ryu Hayabusa in there? He plays Ryu Hayabusa.
He might have been. Yeah, I can't remember.
He's the Ninja Gaiden. He's Ninja Gaiden from Ninja Gaiden.
He probably was. I don't remember. I only remember the chicks. It was really focused on the chicks.
I think
For some reason.
that's just kind of DOA in general.
Yeah.
Dude, I love DOA's combat. It's not like anything else. It's a very, what is it called? Tic-tac-toe, not tic-tac-toe, but Rochambeau style combat, where there's punch, kick, and throw, and then you can cancel throws by pressing throw at the same time. So it's kind of just, there's a counter to everything, but it's not that deep. So it becomes really fun to just play. It's not like Tekken where there's a million things to do.
I don't even know what the last Tekken I
subtle.
played was. I used to love fighting games. I don't know, like probably in the last 10
Very
years
stale.
I stopped.
That's because they stopped developing them, making them better. They're like, we got to make Tekken 2 exactly, or we got to make Tekken 7 exactly like Tekken 2. Just better graphics.
I want to say Tekken 2 or Tekken 3 was like the last Tekken I played. And then Soul Calibur, Street Fighter obviously was like early.
What's your guys' take on the buttons changing for combos? Like, let's say the Scorpion Spear is left, right, square. What do you think when they go to the next game and they change the combo buttons? Do you like that or not?
I hate that, dude.
I don't know.
I hate that too. I hate that. You put in all this time to memorize like how to do things with the character, and then
Like
they
if
change
Ryu from Street Fighter, if he doesn't do half circle down forward or quarter circle down forward, low punch, high punch, strong punch, then to throw a fireball, then I would, if he didn't do that, then I'd be like, this is not a Street Fighter game.
Yeah. I don't know. It feels like it gets counterintuitive the more they make these games because they keep making things more complicated by changing them too much. And they change the way combos change with the timing. What was that? You fucking bastard, dude.
What?
You got bored of talking about fighting?
Oh,
Sure,
no.
I like talking about fighting games.
I was just
Fighting
trying to
games-
wake us up.
I love fighting games. I thought that they'd be a lot better in 2025, but
This guy makes us talk about sex games and has nothing to say about sex games.
No,
I don't know what to say.
I never really thought it through.
Let's talk about sex games.
Wait, you guys
on Steam.
segued into it.
well, now
I
my
wasn't even
face
going
is going
to.
to be on the internet. Good thing this shit is all blurry of me talking about how I played a sex game.
You did with your wife though.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you were just
I
like
did.
lowly jerking off in your room, you know?
Okay. So before we get in one little number of a category here, anything else you guys want to talk about features wise on the Switch 2 before we close that topic
Nah,
off?
no.
I just want to say I'm excited for it. I have no like negative feelings towards it really. It's about time. I just hope they nail it and that they didn't make it too weak because Nintendo is typically behind everybody else when it comes to graphical power and like just power in general. They don't usually focus on performance as much as they focus on trying to have a solid catalog of games.
I heard that the third-party developers who are developing games right now are very satisfied with the power that it has. 2077, getting that to run on this thing, I knew was going to be really hard. But something like a new Elden Ring or putting Elden Ring on there,
Something a little more linear.
yeah. Well,
Harry
that's an
Potter
open
is on
link
there.
Maybe it's
Hogwarts.
open to an extent. Is
Yeah,
it really?
Hogwarts was on the Switch 1.
I wouldn't play it.
Well, now it's supposed to be actually playable though, I guess.
Well, because
Yeah, but would you have
It's
to?
supposed to
You could pay an upgrade for that.
they brought Kingdom Come over to the
Oh.
Switch as well, and
Probably.
I was scared to play that.
They did.
I'm pretty sure they did. Didn't we talk about that at some point?
That's cool.
It is cool, but I heard it was just terrible performance. Yeah, I'm 99%
Runs at
sure.
540p.
It probably.
So what if they
worse.
bring like they say your civilization and you got your little Joy-Con thing you can use as your mouse?
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be cool.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, it'd be cool.
Civilization. Having a RTS game, like a real-time strategy game, using a mouse from that thing. It'd be really fun. So like Civ 7, the new Civ game, would probably be a lot of fun on a Switch too.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
hope
I think
they
it'd be
do
cool.
good. I hope it does well. I just the only downside is the game price. I think honestly.
I've been wanting Nintendo to get into the core game for a long time. So maybe this is it. Although I'm gonna spend my money probably on a new computer before anything else.
Please do, God damn, please do it. If buy it
What
on
is
credit, if you
the
have
price? Yes, do it. What is the price that your coworker said he will drink urine if the Switch goes over a certain price? What is that?
600.
So
right?
he said, okay, he thinks he said 400, but he actually said 500. He said if the Switch is over $500, I will drink my own piss on the show. So it's not over $500 unless you buy the bundle.
Wait a
which
minute.
is $4.99 plus tax.
Was as I was to say, plus tax, is it going to be over 500 if it's plus tax?
So
Like
450 plus it'll
like 489.
it'll come real close.
Oof.
What is it?
I wish that
There's
was
no sales
specified.
tax here, so no sales tax in
Damn.
Wyoming.
Well, let's say it has to be bought in California. That's the stipulation.
Lucky.
So if it's over 500, then yeah, he did luck out on that because it was.
That would have been
close.
so awesome. Let's see here. We got
I would have been fired from my job if James drinks his own piss on shared media. We would. I'd get fired.
I drank my own piss just because it was funny. That's another story, though.
That's weird.
It was when
Anyway,
Jackass was.
That's way
thriving.
more weird than me playing an adult game.
No, it is
I had
not. I took a shot
Oh.
of it. Saltiest thing I've ever tasted in my life.
Did you take a shot to see if you were diabetic or just to take a shot?
Just a
How
shot
can
of
you
piss.
see if you're diabetic?
Sweet, sugary.
No, it wasn't
Take
sweet
a little
or
little
sugary.
drip.
We thought it was fucking
See if
hilarious. And then
See
I
if
had
it's sugary.
And then
I've
I
never
had Cody Allen. He was the pitcher for our high school baseball team and the quarterback. He actually went on to play professionally for a little bit before he got in trouble for doing illicit things. But I had him throw eggs at my back, and that was an experience for sure. That guy can fucking huck stuff. But anyway, that was a different time.
I accidentally drank my piss when I was younger.
He shot it
When I
right
was
into his
like
mouth.
Oh.
second grade or first grade. I fucking got sick. I was like, oh my God, that was piss.
How'd you accidentally drink it?
I think it was like someone peed in the car and I drank it.
Oh,
out
in the
of
bottle?
It was like soda can.
Oh. Do you ever guys remember accidentally drinking chew water?
I've done that as an adult.
Yep. Yeah.
I think
Ugh.
my worst accidental drinking thing was when I was living with Garrett in Elk Grove, and there was a water bottle full of vodka, and I chugged it expecting water, and it shocked me. Let's just say that it was a eye-opening experience when you're just like, this is not water, and I am drinking it like it is fucking water right now.
That'll make you real sick.
Yeah, especially when you're looking for something refreshing and you get, blurry Grant.
So here's what I wonder. You get things from Walmart, and the last thing I'm wondering here is what things from Walmart are shit that you would not want to buy?
Anything O&N brand.
O&N. Okay, what is that?
Technology stuff.
Okay.
Unless you're talking about
O&N?
just like cables. Like I would buy cables from that brand because they're just cheap. But
My guess would be Walmart skateboards. Would not buy one.
no, I would
No.
not.
Your parents
I
ever
have-
buy you a Walmart skateboard when you were a little kid?
One time.
I bought Odin one a long time ago.
They're good for
It's-
starting out to get the feel of a board, but that's about it.
I told
The
them
the trucks don't move. They're just rock
wheels
solid.
don't move.
They just
the wheels
Yeah.
don't move. That's what I was like telling him. I was
I
like,
don't know
"Well,
what
you
they make
can't-
them out of.
You can't practice on this because he's going to step on a real skateboard and it's going to fly out from under him. You need to practice on a legit skateboard. Just do it on carpet at first.
I guess.
My parents got me a skateboard when I was a kid that lifted up a handle into a scooter.
Oh, yeah, I
but the
remember
handle
those.
didn't turn, and it was just
It was a fix to it.
flat board with a handle, so you couldn't do anything on the board. It was horrible.
Yeah.
Dude, that's what they
know.
had in the 50s.
Yeah. With roller
That's
skates.
what Michael J. Fox, that's how he invented skateboarding. in Back to the Future.
Yeah, he breaks
ripped
the handle off.
He breaks the handles off.
And then he Rodney Mullened his way to the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Was that like 13-year-old Tony Hawk in that movie too? In one of the Back to the Futures.
Did they use Tony Hawk?
13 or 14-year-old Tony Hawk. And
Well, that means
David
he was
Spade.
a pro.
Yeah.
Really?
No, well, Tony and David Spade.
David Spade,
David
what?
Spade,
Skateboarded?
the comedian.
David Spade, yeah.
Didn't know that. I like David Spade. Joe
Me too.
Dirt's one of the greatest movies of all time. Just gonna put
Hell
that
yeah.
out there. Grant, you look dead inside, brother.
I'm trying not to fucking move this stupid fucking thing. I'm so disappointed with Walmart. And here's a better answer to your question, PBR.
Sorry.
Fucking bananas. Bananas are the worst thing to buy at Walmart. I live in a small town in Wyoming, where I'm sure Walmart came to town and ruined everybody's business. And now everybody grocery shops at Walmart because it's affordable for most people. And it kills you. It slowly kills you because everything in there is toxic as fuck.
Yeah, everybody, like where I'm at now, there's a Walmart and there's a few little grocery stores, but I like to go to Aldi's before I go to Walmart. Aldi's just seems to have fresher shit all the time and like more.
Yeah. There's an Albertsons here.
We don't have grocery
there's
stores
one.
like that.
I mean, I don't want to move back to California, but there's a far more worse things in California than just bad food.
Yeah.
But I do miss nice produce.
Yeah.
God's sake.
I want to start growing stuff here. She has like a little bit of property, so I think we're gonna throw up a greenhouse this summer and just do our.
And then a tornado comes and rips it apart.
Hey man, as long as I get one crop out of that thing. The wind, dude. We had a hailstorm I woke up to the other night. Holy shit! I'm surprised.
Don't even talk to me about hailstorms. The last hailstorm we had here fucking totaled my car.
It
My
totaled her
favorite
car too.
My Dodge Charger. It was totaled, and I was parked at work, and my work didn't cover it. No one covered it.
I hate that. I hate that you can't leave work when there's a hailstorm. That, to me, hailstorms are worse than snowstorms. I want to be able to get out of there and go park my car under a gas station at least.
Yeah.
Let me go park my car somewhere safe. I don't want to leave it in the parking lot and just get totaled.
Yeah, it looked like Iraq here. There was like windows just busted out with gigantic holes in them, like all over the city.
We still have glass in our backyard. We have these little lights in our patio, and they're small lamp lights, and sometimes I'll catch some shards on the ground because it shattered all of it. And it pushed it all throughout my backyard.
Yeah, weather's crazy out in these areas. Like, that's the one thing you'll never understand living in California. People are like, "Oh no."
Well, they have a lot of fires.
Yeah, but that's a little different.
But it's a lot more arson too.
Yeah,
so
a lot more arson. Most of the fires are started by somebody's negligence. Like there was the one huge fire, maybe 3.5, 4 years ago, started with a chain dragging off the back of someone's car. It sparked
that was
up.
Campfire.
It sparked up and just burned down half the state. Like
that was the town of Camp
up north.
Yeah, it was the town of Camp. Yeah.
Do I dare say a lot of CO2 vegan farts floating around over there too? So I don't know. I'm just kidding.
Those guys eat burgers on the weekend. Don't let them lie to you.
Yeah, I know. Vegans do fart a lot though.
I've seen vegetables my aunt eats that lives out in Malibu. I've seen her fridge.
Yeah. I think this is my favorite vegan joke. How do you know somebody's vegan?
They tell you about it.
You're not supposed to answer it.
You asked me it.
Yeah.
That's what it is, though.
It's like how can you tell when someone does CrossFit? They also tell you about it. My thing was, you could tell when someone's from Southern California. This is a California joke. I don't know if anybody else knows it, but especially a girl, if you can tell when a girl's from Southern California, she tells you something intimate right away. Like, "Hi, my name's Lisa. I just got out of a mental hospital," and I'm like, whoa. Or like, "I just got back from my 7th abortion." Like, whoa, hello. Or like, "Well, that kind of affects my medication I take for schizophrenia." Like, what the fuck? I just met you. You don't have to tell me about that right away.
Oh.
You know, some of the best times I had was down in San Diego. Weirdly enough, like
Yeah, San Diego's awesome.
San Diego's crazy. It literally is crazy. I don't think it's as. I don't know if it's as crazy anymore as it was 15 years ago, but that place was.
It's just
another
the
lifestyle.
Air Force Base.
Yeah.
The naval base. Well, I mean, there's an army base, naval base. It centers everything out over there.
Yeah.
Coronado.
I stayed with Blair one time, and that was fucking insane. And then my parents had, well, they still own it, but they have a condo in downtown that's like luxury, super nice. They rent it out to some billionaire. He has enough money to buy anything he wants, but he chooses to rent out my parents' condo in.
Yeah, well, I would do that same thing too.
I guess.
I don't want to deal with more property.
I guess.
I'll just rent.
I know a guy that went down there for the military in the Air Force. Or no, he was in the army or something. They went down there to that base and they joined branches for Thanksgiving one year.
Mm-hmm.
And they all got undercooked turkey, and the entire like thousands of people got food poisoning. The guy said he never ate turkey again.
How do you undercook turkey?
Same guy we talked about last week that was in Black Hawk Down. Same guy.
Dude, that's funny because there's some government chef for you.
Yeah.
How do you do that? You know how hard that is to undercook
that much turkey, to undercook that much turkey.
Yeah.
I wonder if it just had some bad turkey.
Just oven. You put them all in the oven or whatever, and pull them all out at the same time, and they're probably all undercooked.
It was Chinese turkeys. They were trying to kill.
A couple thousand guys get sick.
Yeah.
Dude. I'm sure it wasn't the whole base, but a couple.
The vegans.
I can tell you right away, if turkey's undercooked, I am not going to eat it. You can tell right away. Chicken is a little different.
I would imagine. Yeah, you think it'd be pink, right? Or it'd still be.
Yeah, it would be too soft.
Yeah.
It'd be too.
It has like a weird
wet
sponge texture when you're cutting through it with your teeth. But hell, it tastes good with those mashed potatoes. I'm down. I don't know.
Yeah, that's probably what they did. Probably mix them all with the mashed potatoes like a normal American.
Yeah, some green beans, gravy, mashed potatoes, stuffing. Oh, yeah. It doesn't get much better. I can eat that for weeks. Literally, I do typically.
PBR, you've been missing out on a lot of games. Me and Deuce had some questions for you.
Oh, yeah. We have some this is some life shit for you. What supplements do you take?
Yeah. What kind of supplements do you take?
For my brain or for
working out?
No, for working out.
Overall.
Before your head started hurting.
None.
Fucking liar.
Wait.
No.
Even creatine.
I did.
What about creatine?
First time in my life, I started taking creatine last year. I took it for about 3 months during 75 hard. Bucked Up was the brand I took because it mixed well with water. All creatine monohydrate is the same.
Yeah.
It just mixes better, I found, with the Bucked Up version. You're supposed to mix it with room temperature water. I got the blue raspberry flavor. You can drink it plain. I have two plain containers. So all that is strength building. It's supposed to be good for your head. It's a proven supplement. So I just wish I would have started earlier in life.
Okay.
The other supplement. Sorry, go ahead.
The reason why is because you started getting migraines, and I was wondering if you had, in order to pinpoint where your migraines were coming from, I wondered if you stopped taking any supplements as soon as you started getting migraines.
So what I'm wondering is if the hydration factor from creatine possibly fooled with the migraine at all.
I mean, I used to take creatine.
I took creatine
for a year, and I remember when I stopped taking it because I didn't work out as hard, I had migraines for a month.
Really?
Like, after I took it, it was probably a week after I stopped taking it.
Yeah, we were curious. We were just talking about like how serious yours are and like what supplements you either were taking before or are still taking now that would be potentially causing you to.
That was the one.
That was it.
Yeah.
Creatine retains water, right, in everywhere around your body.
Yeah.
So maybe like something with your head or your eyes stop retaining as much water, and then you got a headache. I don't know. Cause a headache. Maybe that's it.
Mixed with stress, optical, all that stuff. Yeah.
And you stop drinking beer.
Oh, I haven't drank. Yeah, no, I wasn't drinking beer at all
Yeah,
before
no,
that.
that's because you had your other stomach shit going on.
Mhm.
Yeah, because we need you in Fortnite.
Yeah, Fortnite
I need
has
to play,
been
guys.
off the fucking rails.
It's
Like,
all I want to do.
I haven't had this much fun playing a game since Siege.
And you're playing Fortnite. It's
Bullshit.
crazy.
I play
Dude,
a
it's true.
lot of Fortnite. I'm like
We
almost
haven't
level
played
300.
Delta Force yet.
Yeah, no, we need to do that. I'm almost level 300. We've been grinding. Like, just I've been playing ranked, and I don't usually play ranked in games.
The funny thing about Fortnite is that I had no idea that once you get to the higher levels, the game changes slightly. Like a lot less people use melee now. Now that we play with higher level people.
Yeah.
There might be
Really?
one, but it's not the
You're not
entire
getting
team.
bashed by a bat every 10 seconds.
They're using movement, I'm guessing.
Movement, they're
It's
like
just
there's
thought.
yeah, they play it as more of like a cohesive unit. You'll be running as a squad, and all of a sudden you just get lasered by like 4 people at one time, as opposed to like there's a team over there and you guys all start fighting each other, like randomly shooting at whoever. They'll like pinpoint one person and just rip on you until you're down or they can't hit you anymore. It's a
Maybe we should just all get
level.
Switch 2s and play Fortnite.
What
Yeah,
do I
that'd be
need a
awesome.
Switch 2 to play Fortnite?
Because then we could do it in bed too.
Oh yeah.
We could do. You can use Microsoft's cloud service or whatever it's called.
It's
Just
terrible.
Game Pass, I think.
I didn't like
I
it.
actually
I
can
played it on my
play
iPad.
with- Did you play with touch controls?
No, I sank a Xbox controller to it.
Yeah, well, you're gonna get a bunch of input lag if you do that.
Yeah, well that, and because I don't pay for Game Pass, I had to sit in the queue every once in a while.
Hey, look at
Pushy,
Hey,
come here. Come on,
pushy,
come on,
pushy.
come on. Oh, my
Let's see
cat
this
is
kitty.
the best cat.
Yeah, you need to really get your gaming on because it's like prime
awesome.
time right now. Like
let me say this. I don't want to bounce around, but I did want to ask you guys what you thought of that Mario Kart. I know, Grant, you said you don't care about the games on Nintendo, but what do you think of the open world aspect of Mario Kart?
I think if it's a blue shell, I'm going to hate it. If
I
there's a blue shell involved, I hate it.
I don't know. I don't really typically like open world ones. It was supposed to be like a battle royale game too, so it's like you start with 20 or with like I think it was 24v24 or something like that. But anyway,
Yes.
something like that. But like the top some odd number of players move on to the next level, and the people who finish at the bottom, the people who finish at the bottom,
You drive
don't
to the next level. You don't load into the next level, so you have to drive to the next level. I've played Forza Horizons The Eliminator.
Same
Battle Royale?
thing.
I thought it was kind of fun, but it was really hard to find players for it.
That's another thing. If the game has multiple modes, how many people are really going to play that? Because it's not like Fortnite where it's free and very accessible. You can play it on your phone, you can play it on your computer, you can play it on your console. You know, you can play it everywhere, but like that you can only play on Nintendo. And how many people are going to be playing that game over, you know, fucking Mario games or Zelda or, you know, just other titles in general? I don't know. I feel like when you have, unless the entire game is that way, if there's like different modes, I feel like it's gonna be one of those things where it's like hot in the beginning, and then you get your hardcore audience, and then the rest of the people kind of like fade away.
It's kind of like Forza Horizon, but the servers actually work, I imagine. Yeah. Forza Horizon servers were dog shit. So I'm sure you could actually, I played Mario Kart on the Wii and the servers worked. I'm guessing it's actually going to be workable and you'll be able to fuck around and just go around and drive around with your friends and have fun.
Yeah.
I was going to say it's kind of like your mom.
Ooh.
Yeah.
But I was too late.
Yeah. Nice try.
Do that.
Nice try, Grant.
I'm not a fan. Son of a bitch. I'm not a fan of Mario Kart. I like Mario and the Mario characters, and I think Bowser is underutilized. He could be way cooler. But I don't like the rubber band AI that they've used on every Mario Kart. I don't like blue shells I don't like being rewarded for being in last place. That makes me upset knowing that somebody put that in the game. Like, well, let's try to help the person who sucks the most by having them destroy the first place guy, the guy who's doing the best. We're gonna punish him for doing good and reward someone for doing bad. I hate that. So if I ever see a blue shell when I'm racing, like, I'll just quit. There's no way I can play a game like that.
I will say.
How much N64 Mario have you played?
I mean, at that point,
0.
I hated Mario Kart. Yeah.
0.
No, Mario Party. N64 Mario Party. How much of that?
Never played it.
That game is built the same way. You get your stars collected, and then people can get whistles or like ghosts, boo ghosts, and they can just shake the boo bell and go steal stars from people. Oh, verbal arguments in college from drinking beers and just getting drunk, and then people would steal your stars after a 3-hour game. You'd be ready to strangle a guy.
There was a couple party games I liked from Nintendo, especially on the GameCube. I liked Super Smash Bros. On GameCube, and I liked Super Monkey Ball was awesome on GameCube, and the next one, I can't remember, Wii maybe.
Maybe they should make Super Smash Dead or Alive.
Oh my god, a Team Ninja. Nintendo has worked with Team Ninja before. They made Metroid Other M and it bombed. So maybe they won't do a Mario Kart DOA.
They should make a celebrity death match with Will Smith and Chris Rock.
Celebrity death match is dead. Nobody knows what that is.
They could. Celebrities couldn't take a joke anymore, I don't think. But I bet certain celebrities would take it. Jason Momoa should probably be in it.
I'd hit the sound button, but I don't know. Jason Momoa is a soft ass bitch with muscles. As much Mario Kart as I've played, that game can hold my attention for like 20 minutes, and then I need to do something else. It's not like Fortnite or Tarkov Arena where I can like sit down and play it for hours. You know, I don't know. Unless that game mode's that engaging, because like what Grant said, that takes the kind of the competitive edge away from it and gives it to the child that can't control his car.
So my brother-in-law and sister-in-law, when we lived next to them in Sacramento, we would play his GameCube. He got an adapter. He had this awesome adapter for his big TV to up-res the GameCube and run it at higher frame rates with a little bit of input lag. Well, anyways, it was really fun and crisp, and we played it all the time. But if you were to play it very competitively, like I ended up playing, we all ended up playing competitive with each other, you don't want to be in first place. So all of us would fight for second place. Because by the time the third lap went around, you're going to get blue shelled from someone in the back. And so then the second place guy is going to beat you in the last lap. And it was like that the entire time. And I was like, well, what kind of, that's not a racing game at that point. Like you're not racing for second place, you're racing for first. So I don't know.
If you could have any game come to Switch, what would it be? I already know what mine would be. And you're not going to guess.
Wreckfest.
You think Wreckfest? PBR?
I think Wreckfest could come.
It would be good, I think. It would be
I'm not ready for it yet. I don't know.
Okay, if I was to pick any game, but they would have to change one thing about it, it would be Towerfall Ascension. And if they added online multiplayer, it would be the most competitive game of all time. I've never wanted to kill Kevin Hibbert so bad in my life.
He was so good at that game. Remember, I played with you when we all were in the room.
Yeah.
And he was like, I've never played this game before. And he beat everybody.
He was a fucking liar, that bastard.
That game, he must have been lying.
If you've never played Towerfall PBR, it's an amazing game to play with friends. It's local co-op or local competitive multiplayer, so you can have 4 people on the same console. There's no online or anything, but it is just so simple and so good. You play these little pixelated archers, and you shoot arrows at each other, and you can. And if someone shoots an arrow, you can grab their arrow. And
if you're good, you can skill grab it by dashing into it.
You can grab their arrow, and it's like basically the map has these. You can jump on each other. The map has little lanes, but if you go all the way to the edge of the screen, you come out on the other side of the screen. Or if you fall all the way down, if you fall down, you come from the top. So it's just like this. It's just. Oh, it's some of the most intense gameplay you'll ever play in your life.
It is very good, and they have a great mechanic for like a highlight reel or like last arrow at the end. It was always really good. Like, how did you get that? And you're like, wow, you really grabbed that arrow in the middle of the air. It's also the launch game for the Ouya. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I remember that failure.
The Ouya. It was a Kickstarter game that failed, or
Kickstarter console. Yeah.
It was probably one of the greatest launch titles in video game history, but it came out for the Ouya that no one bought, and then it came to Xbox Live Arcade later.
It was on PlayStation at my house when we were playing it. At my house.
PlayStation, yeah. It came to digital later.
It's just if that is maybe one of my favorite games of all time when it comes to like competitive multiplayer, and the fact that it wasn't online, it just crushed my soul. I hope they made Celeste was the follow-up game to that, but it was a story-based game, like a side scroller. But like man, it was Maddie Does Games or something like that. Maddie Makes Games.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's amazing. Hands down, like the most phenomenal game I've ever played.
I don't know what I would think. Maybe this sounds stupid. This would not be my choice, but like a high level, there's just no good poker games really. Prominence Poker I liked, but maybe a poker game would be nice for the Switch to play in bed at night.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
It's touchscreen.
That's probably not
too,
but that's not something that I would ideally love. But
that wouldn't be hard to do at all. There's plenty of that could be ported over.
It might already exist.
I don't think there's any good World Series of Poker. I'm not a fan of because everyone just throws all in constantly. Prominence Poker is played pretty competitively, but I like skill-based poker. Like I want to sit and feel like there's people against me when there's no money on the line that are still playing
for wins,
legit trying.
I think
you're just not going to really get real poker unless someone has something
on the line
to lose.
Yeah. I don't know. They could do like
you have to make the in-game items really good and the ranking system really good. I think.
You could make it to where everybody plays, right? And the best of the best go to a real world tournament. So like every year we host a IRL thing that people have been playing on the Switch for the last 11 months, and in the last month all the best of the best go to
they do that though for Full Tilt. You go to fulltilt.com.
We're talking about Switch.
I know,
but
isn't Full Tilt Tony G's thing?
I don't know.
Or I don't remember who's Full Tilt, but yeah.
Either way.
Yeah, I think that's Tony G.
I would like a shooter with a multiplayer game.
I want a simple shooter though, like something that was kind of like Ballistic but not Fortnite.
Yeah, I was about to say if Counter-Strike came out, Counter-Strike 2 was like, we're coming to console, but only for Nintendo. And
you think they'll bring Valorant now that they have like that?
It's possible.
That mouse capability thing.
Well, you don't need mouse capability.
Oh yeah, I guess they do play it on console now. So
it's on console now. Yeah, I think if Counter-Strike was like, here's CS2.
Nobody wants to play
Switch.
Counter-Strike. Okay, that game's
and
butt cheeks.
I would buy 5 copies.
You would. And the game's free to play, so you're an idiot. I hate Counter-Strike.
This man loves
It's the fucking greatest game ever.
Yeah,
I wish you guys played it.
Yeah, I've played it.
I've been playing by myself for so many years since Blair's stopped playing it in 2015.
No, he was playing when I lived there. That wasn't 2015. That was like he was playing it every weekend. You're blurry as shit.
You'd probably like games that if your PC could run other games, there'd be other games out there.
I don't know though. Is there right now? Tarkov Arena. When does that come? It's like 6 days, I think. On the 12th, maybe is what it was.
I'd probably like Counter-Strike if I could actually run a keyboard and mouse.
I don't know why
play
you
with a
don't.
keyboard and mouse.
I think keyboard and mouse is so much more natural. It's so much more.
You can play with a controller.
What? Counter-Strike?
You can play with a controller. Yeah. There's no aim assist, but
I'd probably play with a keyboard and try it. But...
I don't know why you play Arena well.
Yeah,
you're not playing that on a controller.
If you can play Tarkov Arena, you can play
any
Counter-Strike.
You don't want to play Counter-Strike though, because Arena is actually better. But the shooting makes sense. The mechanics are better.
I like Tarkov Arena, and it's hard for me to talk crap about it, but it doesn't.
I backed him into
What if they bring Tarkov Arena to Switch 2? What if that happened? Then we'd be talking business.
If Nintendo had balls, I would hope they would do that. they would go to Battle State and they're like, hey, you want a console release? Like develop for ours and develop for a we're trying to hit the hardcore crowd.
Yeah, Nikita would be like, we'll see you in 10 years.
Tarkov. And they brought Tarkov.
I think
this is touchpad, so maybe you can do touchpad stuff. Right? Is it a touchpad? It is a touchpad, right?
It's got to be, right?
No.
The first one was. It's got to be touch. Why wouldn't it be? That'd be like a step backwards.
That one slipped my radar. I'm not sure.
It's got to be touch. I can't imagine it not being. And what comes with a screen that size is not touch anymore. Even all the little like Windows tablet PCs are touch screen.
Even the Nintendo DS was touchscreen.
Yeah, that was. It is touchscreen.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would have to be. It has to be. You can't go back.
So then, you can do Tarkov on that because you have all those extra buttons right there.
Yeah, inventory management's all done on the finger. But
that'd be amazing.
Even if it was just, oh my god, that'd be so much fun. That would be because I played what was it wasn't Arena Breakout. What was the one before that you played on mobile?
Was it an extraction shooter?
Yeah. Same
Arena.
Was it Arena? Is that the one? I mean, yeah, I guess so. Because it Black Ops or Black Hawk Down or whatever the fuck that other game is. Delta Force. They did the arena or the extraction thing that felt.
Jesus Christ!
It felt
here. Hold on.
It was. Hold on. It was the Black Hawk.
Hold on.
Long story short, when I played it on PC or on mobile, it wouldn't sync to the controller, and I would maybe never want to play it again, even on PC. Arena Breakout.
Yeah. Well, because there are no controller options in that. You could sync it to a controller, but you'd have to spoof it.
I just wanted it to run and look around. Like an inventory management I'd do on my finger, but I felt like it was a big miss for them. But anyway, I don't know why that is.
All right. We call her there, gentlemen.
Yeah, this is just as long as last week, but a little slower. We'll call this one at a snail's pace.
We'll call this one
hour. We brought electricity. And the last 20 minutes was just a little sprinkle on top for everybody.
Yeah.
That's just bullshit.
This one's going to be called The Shorts Are Better.
The shorts are better.
Yeah.
And I'm not wearing any pants.
Thank you for watching the Lords of Larftown podcast. This was the second episode. Stay tuned on our channel to watch Lords of Larftown Larf Gaming shorts that we upload.
We'll probably
upload
some
Deuce.
gaming videos too. Like just hit or miss every once in a while. And Grant will have
These
a better
guys have been
camera next
grinding
time,
heavy.
hopefully.
We're a bunch of fucking gamers around here.
Yeah, Fortnite gamers,
we got
baby.
G Stanky here. We got Deuce. We got PBR. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe. Leave a comment. We'll feature you. I'll feature you in the next thumbnail if you leave a best comment.
I'm commenting.
Best comment. Feature.
All right.
Peace.